Unscripted.
Man, I tell you what, that PS5 sure is a weak piece of crap. I mean, let's just be real here. It's rendering a game at 1080p. Am I right? Am I right? Well, of course I'm not right. That's ridiculous to even worry about something like that. But I did want to talk about this because, believe it or not, this is actually a thing that people are talking about. And for whatever reason, I'm not exactly sure. It's a topic of conversation. Now, for me personally, I don't buy into resolution or anything like that. I think that, resolution is one of those things that is like the least important thing that there could be, because resolution isn't graphics and graphic isn't resolutions. Obviously, you can have a situation where you can have a blurrier picture, but usually that's going to come with sub HD resolutions, which the game is not. But it's very funny to see people kind of react to this. So who's the people that are reacting to this story the most over the last day and a half? Well, it's Xbox fans. They're the ones that are bringing this up. They're the ones that are talking about this as if it is some huge deal. Oh my gosh, 1080p, that's not next gen. I actually had someone, shout out to the dude on my timeline on Twitter, said that's why the game doesn't look next gen, because it's 1080p. And I got to discussing things with him, and he said that, well, 1080p wasn't next gen. And so I pointed out resolution has nothing to do with generations. Okay, if it did, the Series S isn't next gen. Heck, the Xbox One wouldn't have been next gen doing 720p. You can't really boil down games and generations like that. It doesn't work that way. So, especially for people that haven't played it, to realize the amount of effects and particles and, all that kind of stuff that goes into the game. So, it was just so odd. And what it really comes down to is, no, these people don't care that it's 1080p. The thing that they care about is that it's, 1080p on PlayStation 5. Because nobody on the Xbox side was talking about, sub 1080p on, Xbox Series S games, or how stuff like Gears 5 was 1080p on at different points and things like that. It's really just kind of a bunk argument when you think about it. So it's very interesting because House Marquee obviously dropped Returnal. It's getting brilliant reviews. It's even being talked in the Game of the Year discussion. And as one of the first major PS5 exclusives, people are very curious about how it pushes the hardware. The tech heads at Digital Foundry put through its paces, and it's somewhat of a mixed bag, and they actually did a 20-minute video on it. So Returnal throws a lot at the player and targets 60 frames, but it comes at the cost of image quality, according to them. While Returnal technically runs at a dynamic 4K, a lot of techniques are used here, according to Digital Foundry. Returnal's native resolution is only around 1080p, and Housemarque says that they then use temporal upsampling to get the 1440p and then checkerboard rendering to get the 4K. The effect of this double upsampling in a game can look a little bit grainy at times. Now, as for performance, expect a mostly locked 60 frames per second, although Digital Foundry did pick up brief moments where the action dipped to the mid-50s. Don't expect too many fancy ray tracing effects, as Housemarque mainly used it behind the scenes to improve rendering efficiency. So Returnal isn't like the oh my gosh showpiece that a lot of people were hoping for, but it's still good and a challenging game, and it's something that really does kind of push a lot of effects on the screen at the same time. And this is exactly what I think a lot of people were looking for in a game for next generation or whatever. I think Returnal, I haven't had a whole lot of time with it yet, but I really do think that it's a fantastic looking game. I don't really think that it's, I'm not really sure exactly why people were so hard on it or whatever, especially considering this is Housemarque's first AAA quote unquote game, and the fact that it's one of those games that's really pushing the PlayStation 5 early on in the generation. I'm sure later on they'll be able to get some more stuff out that takes better advantage of it and learn the ins and outs of the hardware a little bit better. But I have to say, for this game, I think it looks fantastic. I'm playing it, on the LG LX, on the OLED, and it looks amazing. It looks absolutely stunning, from what I've seen so far. I haven't been able to put too much time on it because I have to wait until I have, some hours that I can put into it so that I don't lose my progress and stuff like that. So if you guys didn't know, there's not really a save feature. So you just have to do your runs and stuff like that, and I guess they can take a few hours. So I have to wait till I have a few hours to spare, or put it in, put it in rest mode on my PS5 and kind of take it from there. So we'll see how it kind of works out. But I'm very interested to see how things kind of go, and how everybody's kind of talking about this right now. And I can't imagine what it's going to be like in the future when stuff like Ratchet and Clank hits and you have like a true first party taking full advantage of the PlayStation 5. I think it's going to be, fantastic. And I'm really, really looking forward to seeing like what can happen, and the boundaries that can be pushed and stuff like that, with the with the PS5 and even the Xbox Series X. I mean, listen, the Xbox Series X is one thing. I just wish that it really had, some games to actually play in it, because so far we haven't really seen anything that really pushes it to the limits or anything like that, and that's a little bit unfortunate. In the future, I guess we'll probably see some stuff. But yeah, what do you guys think? Time to throw away our PlayStation 5s? Are we actually out there in a situation where anybody thinks like this, or are you disappointed that the game outputs basically 1080p? Listen, I think it's so funny because we are very close to like the DLSS equivalent machine learning on both these new consoles. So people should really stop expecting a whole situation where we get, 4K or even close to that. Probably a lot of these companies are going to go, and a lot of these developers are going to go for, a 1440p situation where, we're able to sort of get the DLSS that looks better than than a lot of stuff. You know what I mean? Looks better than a lot of stuff at native 4K. So yeah, really interesting to see that happening. I do hope that we continue to see things happen that push the industry forward and stuff like that. I know for me personally, seeing Returnal, it's a game that's really taken some chances. Bravo to them for being able to go out there and do that and take chances. I think it's a heck of a thing, a hell of a thing for them to be able to do, and I hope that we get more games like this in the future. For one of the main things is this is something that I feel like gamers need. Like I know PlayStation does these great bangers and stuff like that, but we still need these games to kind of push the limits and stuff like that within the beginning of a generation, and a new IP that kind of does that. So for me personally, while I don't really particularly care about the resolution or anything like that, I am very interested to see what a lot of people think and what people kind of overall consensus is on what Returnal and the fidelity and stuff like that, what it means to you personally as like fans and stuff like that. So I would appreciate any feedback you guys can give. Listen, if you played the game, let me know in the comments below, or you can let me know on Twitter what you think about like the game graphically, what you think about the game, in terms of the effects and particles and stuff like that. I can still remember Resogun absolutely destroying it back when the PS4 launched with the particle effects and stuff like that. So, this game is sort of like that in the arcadey type shooter type situation. But again, I think the picture quality looks good. I didn't really notice a heavy grain or anything like that. I do understand where they're coming from if they do see one, because I can remember that was a big thing with Quantum Break back in the day, where they had this big grainy kind of, film grain effect that I didn't really like. But to me, it looks great. A lot of people are talking about this, and again, I think a lot of it has to do with, a lot of these Xbox fans don't really have anything to play, and they're kind of jealous. And so you see them kind of do stuff like review bomb PlayStation exclusives and, kind of talk crap about a game that they don't get to play, like this. And this is a new IP. It's a PS5 only game, taking advantage of the PlayStation 5 with the DualSense and all that. I think they did a masterful job with it, and I'm excited to see where the future holds for them, and where the future holds for, gaming in general. For me, I've never understood the argument as to why people kind of fight and argue over this kind of stuff. When there's so many other things to kind of talk about in gaming, honestly, I never will understand this. It kind of blows my mind. Let me know what you guys think. If you guys are new to the channel, please like, share, subscribe if you haven't done so already. I'm Crapgamer, and this has been Crapgamer Reviews. I try to do daily content and stuff like that, and I really do appreciate each and every one of you. I know a lot of you take the time out to watch the videos. Just all I ask really is for a simple like, honestly. So I try to do as good a job as I can. Sometimes work prohibits and things like that, but I do really enjoy each and every one of you in the comments, and I pay attention even if I don't respond. So thank you so much for watching. Have a fantastic day, night, whenever you watch this. Rack 'em up. Game on, my friends. Game on. Crap Gamer out.
Unscripted.